Hey y'all, it's time to review for the quiz. For this first one, we have slope-intercept, meaning the equation in this form, it gives us the slope and the y-intercept, b. To graph, step 1 will be to plot our y-intercept, our b. Since b is the y-intercept, we're going to plot that on the y-axis. So we have y, positive 5. Step 2 is going to be to use our slope to find a second point. I'm going to turn our slope into a fraction so it's easier. So we have our rise over run. So -2 in fraction form would be -2 over 1, meaning we will go down 2 times and then over 1. Now we have 2 points, we can draw our line. Let's do our second problem. This one is in point slope form, meaning it gives us a slope and it gives us a point. Our slope is going to be the number in front of the parentheses on the right side. Since there's no number there, I can assume it's an invisible 1. In fraction form, this will be 1 over 1. The next step is to find our first point. To do that, we'll look at x first, so x plus 1, and we're going to take the opposite of plus 1, which is -1. That's our first x value. Our first y value is going to be the opposite of this number. So the opposite of -2 is +2. Step 1 is going to be to plot your first point. So -1, 2. Step 2 is to use our slope to find a second point. Since I have 1 over 1 as my slope, that means I'm going to go up 1 and then over 1. So now I have my second point. I can go ahead and draw my line. The last problem we'll go over is in standard form. This one helps us to find our x-intercept and our y-intercept. So we're going to write 2 equations. To find our x-intercept, we're going to set y equal to 0. The opposite of x would be y, so we're going to set y equal to 0, which basically gets rid of the y. So now we're left with 3x equals 12. We get rid of x's coefficient by dividing both sides by 3. 12 divided by 3 is 4. So since our x equals 4, that means that on the x-axis, our x-intercept is 4, +4. To find our y-intercept, we're going to set x equal to 0, which basically gets rid of the x, because 3 times 0 is 0. So we're left with 4y equals 12. To get y by itself, we're going to divide both sides by y's coefficient, which is 4, which gives us y equals 3. So now that I have my second point, I can go ahead and draw my line. Go ahead and do the next 3 on your own.